Today I'd like to talk about a book called Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. It is no secret that I am a huge Jane Austen fan, and I have started to reread her books, and one of the books I've recently read is this book, Northanger Abbey. It is also my favorite Jane Austen book. It's kind of something different. It's in many ways a typical Jane Austen book, but it is actually kind of different from what she's done in some ways, the other books. This book, Northanger Abbey, was actually the first book that was made ready to be published. It was ready already in 1803, and it was sold to a bookseller in London called Crosby & Co. And they bought it for £10. And for some reason they decided that they wouldn't publish it. Reasons unknown. But after a while they decided, they managed to... the Austen family bought the book back for £10 as well in 1817, and at the time the bookseller didn't even know that Jane Austen had kind of published 4 popular books for some reason. That's really strange in my opinion, but I mean 1800s, people probably thought differently, and you didn't have the internet, of course. I know, I'm being silly. Anyhow, on with Northanger Abbey. It was actually published in 1817, but on the book, it's on the title side it says 1818, but it was published in December, so it was quite late. And this was, as you probably know, if you know anything about Jane Austen, you would know that this was after her death. Northanger Abbey is a book about Catherine. She's 17 years old, and she is the daughter of a vicar, priest thing. Escapes me. Sorry. But she's like one of many siblings. She has 10 brothers and sisters. And it's a big family, and they're not poor, but they're not really rich either. The 17-year-old Catherine Morland loves to read. She reads these Gothic novels, romantic Gothic novels, and her favorite book is The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe, who was contemporary author with Jane Austen. And Catherine Morland has a really lively fantasy as well. One day she is invited by the Allens, and they are very close friends. They are close friends with the family Morland. They are kind of their richest neighbors, so they interact where they live. But Catherine is then invited to go with them to Bath. And Bath at the time was a very, very popular place to go for spa and health and bath bathing things. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at all these words today. I am very tired. So, but I'm doing as good as I can with English. So I'm sorry about the language, but that's that. This is winter season, so Catherine and Mr. and Mrs. Allen is arriving there, as I said, during winter season, and there's like a lively society life with balls and theater and other social happenings. And one of the people she gets to know quite early is Isabella Thorpe. And Catherine also um, or I'm sorry, Isabel Thorpe has a brother, and he gets interested in Catherine. But Catherine, on the other hand, is not very interested in him. She's more interested in Henry Tilney, that she also gets to know. So after a while in Bath, Catherine gets invited by the Tilneys to their home. Or rather, she's invited pretty much by, I think it's Henry Tilney's father, or if it's Henry Tilney himself, I can't quite remember. But she's invited to their home, and Henry Tilney especially wishes that she will keep his sister company. Eleanor, she's a lot alone, and Henry Tilney has another home as well. So he would really like for his sister not to be so much lonely. So he invites Catherine to stay in their home. For Catherine, their home is called Northanger Abbey, hence the title. And for Catherine, Northanger Abbey is kind of a mysterious place. And of course, her having a very vivid imagination, she kind of sees things and imagining things that aren't really there at times. I'm not going to say a whole lot because it would ruin the story. But there are times where her imaginations kind of runs wild, and it kind of gets her into trouble at a couple of times. So yeah, I'm not going to go into the story any more than that because I think you should read the book. But there's a lot of subjects in the books that are very interesting. It's about the conflict about marrying well for fortune or for love. One example of this is Catherine's brother, James, who gets engaged to Isabella Thorpe. And you would think that when this happens it would be all love. But then Isabella discovers that James doesn't really have any money. He is not rich. She thought he was rich, but it turns out he's not. And it doesn't take awfully long before she kind of makes a little bit of a scandal, and turns out she breaks the engagement because he doesn't have any money. Catherine isn't too happy about this because she knew that his brother was really in love and he had the support of his parents and all that. But Isabella breaks the engagement, so that kind of breaks his heart as well. And Catherine, of course, gets really angry with him, with Isabella, and doesn't really want to be her friend anymore. She gets to know this when she's at Northanger Abbey, by the way, so she doesn't really talk to Isabella. Another theme or subject you find in this book in particular is that Jane Austen is kind of trying to put a light on the danger of thinking that the reality would be just as it is in the book. It isn't. Well, Jane Austen's point is that it isn't, and that Catherine's fantasies is very... I don't know how to say it, deluded, can you say that? By the Gothic novels she reads. It kind of influences her judgment, and it makes her to jump conclusions because of what she read in the books. It makes her to jump conclusions that aren't really right, so to say. So, but this is getting long, and I don't want to make it too long. However, I would like to mention that when I studied in Cardiff in Wales, I did a module called Romantic Gothic, and on my reading list was a book called, yeah, you guessed it, Mysteries of Udolpho. And my professor in Romantic Gothic, when he was talking about Mysteries of Udolpho, he would mention Northanger Abbey as a parody of the book Mysteries of Udolpho. And yes, Northanger Abbey is at times really funny. Jane Austen is a brilliant writer, and it's very lively and well written. But I'm not sure if I would agree that Northanger Abbey is a parody. Maybe some kind of critique, maybe. But parody, I think it's not quite the wrong word. It's complicated, but yeah. So Northanger Abbey is one of my favorite books. As I said, it's my favorite Jane Austen book, and it's really well written. I love the language. I love how the descriptions, and I love how it makes you get to know a little bit about Bath at the time. Because it was different from what it is now, and it's Jane Austen's books, especially this is the description of Bath at the time is really good. If you'd like to read the book, you can actually download it for free as an ebook at the Project Gutenberg. I'll leave a link down in the description box so you can have a look. So that's it for now. Bye!